I'm Taylor Hanna. Welcome to this week's edition of Western Perspective. Industrial action has been at the forefront this week after the Transport Workers Union and Transdev, contractors of Perth, couldn't reach a reasonable agreement during negotiations. Bus drivers are demanding a call for a 3% annual pay rise, an increase in annual leave and greater job security. Many Transdev employees are only on a casual basis and do not receive the same entitlements in line with the other two Perth contractors. In a one-on-one interview with Transport Workers Union WA Secretary Tim Dawson, hear why you should care.
Can you just justify to our younger viewers why this industrial action is so important?
Well, especially the young people who work in, casualised employment, young people who understand that, they go to work, they might only get one shift a week or whatever. I mean, this is what bus drivers are. These bus drivers are not only fighting for themselves, but they're fighting for them young people. They're saying that there's a line drawn in the sand and we want employment, permanent employment. We want a pathway to permanent employment. And, their grandkids and kids, they understand that they need to have this fight for them as well.
And what was the thing that broke the straw that broke the camel's back, essentially?
Well, I suppose what broke the camel's back is the company being unreasonable in negotiations. That's what broke the camel's back. So, all these people want to do was have a reasonable negotiations for the company to be reasonable to come back and the company to put in writing a pathway to permanent employment to say that we're going to give you a reasonable increase and we're going to pay you the extra week's annual leave because you're shift workers. They're the things that they've asked for. At no time has the company put in writing a pathway to permanent employment. Not every driver expects to be employed as a part-time, and not every casual expects to be employed as a full-time employee. But what they expect is that there is a step process, a pathway, that every time a permanent employee leaves for whatever reason, that they don't replace that permanent employee with two casuals or two part-timers, that they actually make up someone from their pool of casuals or part-timers of that permanent employment. That's all they're asking for. Nothing more than that. Just a reasonable outcome.
And so there is a point of difference between the three contractors that operate within Perth, and Transdev is at the lowest.
Yes, Transdev employ more casuals than any other contract. They pay. They don't pay the superannuation the same as them, and they also don't pay the extra week's annual leave. Now, these contracts, I would say, are the same. I wouldn't expect that too many of these buses are run around here where one contractor gets paid different to the other. So what we're saying is let's be reasonable, Transdev.
So you're after a unified pay agreement?
That's our major outcome for the whole bus industry, that we have one agreement that covers every bus driver, no matter who runs that contract. One job, one rate. That's all we're asking for.
And finally, what's your demand to the government on this matter?
Well, the government may need to get involved in this and persuade these companies that we need a fair outcome. We're not being unreasonable, and they may need to, give a bit of a rev and do PTA to talk to the bus companies, especially Transdev.
And that's all for this week. We'll be back again next time, but until then, Ivan and Danielle, back to you.
Thanks, Taylor. And that's our news for this week. You can follow the latest on our website and Facebook page.
From Daniel, myself and the rest of the team until 8 o'clock next Sunday, a very good evening to you.
Good night.